And you can start on your back with the bolster right underneath your knees. And I think I just need to adjust this a little bit. Okay. Okay. So you can start with the legs just right over the bolster and let your whole body rest back. And release the weight of your head back entirely. Now you can draw your shoulder blades under so that your neck is really long and the weight of the head is resting back completely. Then do a gentle rock of your head from side to side. Letting the whole front of your body let go. Your shoulders releasing back. And then let the head relax to the middle. Bend both knees and bring the feet right to the top of the bolster. Now do a press of your feet into the bolster and you can flatten your low back down. And then let go. And then flatten again so you're getting a little tiny pelvic tilt. And then let go again. And then you can pull the right knee into the chest. Pull it to the outside towards the ribs. And then let the left leg straighten. Do a little rock from side to side. Just like your elbows bend to pull that right knee in. Take your time with your breathing, breathing in and out through the nose. And then you can come on into circles with that knee. Circling around, and the elbows are bending to draw the knee in. And then come on in the other direction. Coming around. And then you can pull the knee in once again. Squeeze really tight, squeeze right in through the top of the thigh. And then let that heel come right down on top of the bolster. Rest the arms to the side, turn the palms up to the ceiling. And then just feel the effects in the knee or the thigh. Notice where you feel the difference, if you do. And then let your right leg straighten over the bolster. And then let go once again, completely relax the body. Feel the length of the backs of the legs over the bolster. And draw your awareness into your breathing. Just feel the belly rise on the inhale and sink on your exhale. And as you become very still, notice if you can also keep the awareness on your breathing so that all thoughts can fall away. You can stay right in the breath awareness. Take another minute. And as you continue to let go, feel the belly rise on your inhale and feel it sink on your exhale. And then take in a deeper breath. Good. And then bend that left leg up. Hug the left knee in. Come on into circles. And coming in the other direction. Pull that knee in now really snug. Bend and squeeze through the fold of that quad. Make sure shoulders are back. Elbows bend to draw that knee in. Really squeeze. Breath. And then you can gently release that foot down right onto the top of the bolster. Let the arms rest to the side as you let go. Feel the changes in the top of that thigh or maybe in the knee. The back of the body well in contact with the floor. And then on your next breath, just gently lengthen the leg. Let go again. And then you can bend both knees and take the feet to the top, right onto the top of the bolster. The weight of the tailbone dropped. Now come on back into your tailbone lift and you can the low back down and then tilting up. I know it's very dark. I should have worn like fluorescent clothing or something. I've got the lights up high, but with the backlight, it makes me so dark from the front. And I've got these beaming lights on. So I'm pretty sure you can see the outline of the body there. Now, do notice that you're pressing through all four parts of your feet, four corners, so you can really feel the knees come out. This is a bit of a strong pose, so you want to deepen your breath. The gaze is to the ceiling. Of course, you might need to turn the head, but now that you see the pose, the tailbone is high, gaze to the ceiling so the back of the neck is even and long. Take in 2 more deep breaths as you keep the tailbone reaching out and as you press into your feet. And then right from the top of the spine, lower down, keep your tailbone lifted. Try not to let the knees splay out. This way your knees are tracking right above the ankles. And then you can come on all the way down. Rest there. Let your body go. Feel the shoulders relaxing back. And then here we go again. Taking an in-breath, press into the feet. Peel the tailbone out. And as you send the tailbone out, feel how the backs of the shoulders are on the floor. And you keep pressing on the insides of your feet. Let the tailbone tip under far. And again, press through all 4 corners of the feet as you lift that tailbone out, as your chest is open. And then from the top of your spine, come down. Keep the tailbone reaching out and on down slowly. Let each piece of the back down slowly and the tailbone the very last. Breathing steadily as you do, coming down. And then you can release into the floor. Let your legs straighten once again, coming over the bolster. Good. Now, once again, let go. Let your upper body be free. Bring the awareness down to your belly. Now, as I leave you in silence, I welcome you to take your right hand and using the palm of your hand, circle right around the belly, coming clockwise. And as I demonstrate, you're just using that right hand to turn and you're coming into the region of the belly that you're coming just below the upper part of the rib cage. And then you're bringing the fingertips right down. Let me get up to the light here. You're bringing the fingertips right down just to the tip of the hips right here. So it's just above the pubic bone where just one sec. Just checking where
right where the pubic bone is. I'm just going to check a chat here. Okay. Thanks, just had to check that. Okay, just had a little technical issue there. And so that movement, you're just moving right through, I just have to check my gallery. So you're moving right through the whole belly there. And this is the GI tract, the outside part of the GI tract. It's a great place to connect and to help with movement through the bowels, and also for releasing emotional tension. It's soothing, and it's just a wonderful way to help your back, because when your abdomen is relaxed, you also let your low back go. Okay.
And then once you feel complete with the circles clockwise, then you can let your hand go. The shoulder blades come under, and we always go clockwise in that massage so that you're aiding digestion. And come right into your breath, letting go. Do a body scan, and in your body scan, notice if there's anywhere that you need to let go more, even if it's just to relax the forehead or to smooth the scalp or to relax the face, to relax the jaw, and to feel a small space between upper and lower teeth, just about the size of a grain of rice. The tip of the tongue is resting behind the top front teeth. And as you feel the shoulders rest back, feel how you have a long abdomen right from your chest bone, middle of the chest, right down to the pubic bone. And feel that free, long abdominal wall. Good. Do any little wiggling or adjusting to help your body sink back. And you've just smoothed out the areas of your body to let them go. Just notice if there's anything in your mind that you can let go of. I'm sure there's nothing there, but just in case, just that feeling literally of falling back, just like you do when you let go into a mattress or you let go floating on the water, letting yourself be rippled inwardly by the breath, letting the entire front body go. Notice the fingers are relaxed and they're naturally curled, palms turned up to the ceiling. As we travel down from the head, feel how the back of the neck is long, the throat is open, the collarbones resting back, the ribs relaxed, the chest dropping back, and in between the ribs you feel a sense of space. So the sides of the body are falling back, and you feel the ultimate length in the abdomen. You feel the back in contact with the floor and the weight of the hips. releasing it into the floor on either side of your tailbone. Behind the shoulders, the shoulder blades are under. You might wriggle them under a little to get a longer neck and then let go again. Feel the backs of the arms in contact with the floor. Elbows dropped back. Forearms heavy and warm, and the wrists heavy. And then traveling right back down to the hips. From the back of the hips going through the buttocks, feel that area heavy and dropped. Feel at the front of the thighs where the front pockets would be. Feel that area soft. Feel the tissue of the thighs resting back. And feel the inner thighs letting go. And the knees maybe roll out a little in relaxation. Feel the backs of the knees heavy on the bolster. And the calves resting on your bolster or on the floor. The heels are heavy, feet rolled out. Tops of the feet are soft. The shins heavy and dropped back. And the knees are opened and relaxed as the backs of the legs are supported. Now, as you let go, bring your awareness once again right down into the low belly. Draw the breath down low, draw in through the nostrils, and feel the belly expand on the inhale. And sink on your exhale. And again, inhale. And exhale. Keep that going with your own full breath. And notice, again, doing one small, quick body scan. Notice if there's anywhere that your body can let go again. Now, as I leave you in silence once again, we'll be here for 2 minutes. Just notice if there's any way you can soften more in your body. And then tether your awareness right into your breath. Keep on letting go into the floor. Notice that the elbows are completely supported and the inside of the elbows soft. The wrists are heavy, palms warm, fingers curled, and the backs of the arms heavy and warm. Good. And now we'll bring ourselves into awareness of the breath and then into a conscious meditative awareness. I want you to, with your imagination, and it's not like you have to get this right. It's not that you have to draw a really vivid picture in your mind. It's really more evoke inside a feel and tone of the most sweet moment you can remember. It can be recent or from childhood. And evoke that feeling now so that you actually have a sense of warmth in your heart, in your chest, in your throat, maybe too. The whole front body just fills with the sweetness of that moment. Picture the scene, people or the persons or the environment you're in, or all of that. And just let yourself bask in the sweetness of that moment. Really paint it out now in your imagination. Lovely. And let the feeling in your body, which may have developed in your chest or in your belly or in both or in your whole front body, feel it now sinking down and back towards the ribs and the spine, right into the vertebrae, as if your front body is melting into your back body on the inside. And you feel the back of your body carried by the ground, and you feel the front body opened in this surrendered, sweet, loving feeling. That front body is opened. Now imagine that your whole front body is one giant receptor site. A giant receptor site, almost like a crater on the moon, except it's you, open to all that can be, that you can let in, that is sweet and true. Evoke that now, that open, sweet, vulnerable, intelligent space that can take in all the beauty and all of the ways that you need to be who you are in the world. In other words, just little things you think about and them coming true. Whether it's being a beautiful balcony, whether it's being walking outside on a stunning day and taking in everything without any sense of time. And let your whole body bask and receive that feeling of love and wholeness that really makes up your body and how it is in harmony with the world. And stay with that feeling. The sweetness of it. Lovely. Now, on your next in-breath, bring your awareness back to your body. Good. And then bend the knees and bring your feet right to the top of the bolster. Now do a flattening of your back. So you're going to do a very small pelvic tilt. Flatten the low back down and then release. And again, flatten the low back down and release. And once more, press the low back down, flatten, and release. Good. Now we're going to gently roll over to your right side, and you can take yourself into a side fetal position, and then you can push up gently, come on up to seated position, and then the next wave will come is to take your head, as I look for my pillow, onto either a folded blanket, towel, or you can use any kind of thick pillow so that you can have your head supported right from the side. So you're going to come onto your left side, and we'll take the pillow right under your ear. We're going to come into the side shoulder stretch. So you're lying on that left side, and we're going to start by having the ear just next to the pillow. Your arm can be just in line with your shoulder, and then you've got your fetal position with the knees stacked. Now we'll start by opening in through the hips. So you just gently let that top right hip fall forward. And then you're going to take the right arm up. Just let the forearm be soft and fall. And I want you to just come back so you're opening the chest. And then take the arm back and reach back gently. Now you want to let the arm fall back there so you open right through the front of the shoulder. Now, of course, this is a stretch, so we're not letting go yet. You're really getting a good opening right through the chest. So just to show you, I do have your palm turned up and the arm comes back. Now, I welcome you to stay at whichever height is good for your shoulder. If you keep the arm straight back, you're going to get a great stretch through the front of the shoulder right into your chest. If you want to keep on moving, and this is how we've done this before, is you come into a windmill and you come around and just implore which area you need to stretch into. Find any part that's tight and you can breathe and open. And as you take the arm back, that's when you're finishing your inhale. So when you take the arm up, you inhale. As you take the arm back, you're finishing the inhale. And as you get down, you're exhaling. So breathe in up, exhale, and then you finish the inhale at the back, exhale, come on down. Breathe in up, opening the chest, opening under the arm, and then exhale down. It's really hard to say, come on up, without feeling like Bob Barker. Come on up. And just let the chest open as you take that arm back. And oh wow, if you find a great place, stay in that spot and then let yourself breathe and release into the stretch. I'm finding if I come up on a diagonal and then come back, that's right through the front of the shoulder. And some days you're different. You're going to find different places that are tight. So keep your breath full, especially if you find a sticking spot, and deepen your breath so that you can come on down. And breathing in as you come up and exhale back. Lovely. And then I shall just fetch you some poetry so you can let go even more in through your heart center, in through the front of the shoulder. And always nice to come back to some of my favorite poets. And today, reading from Billy Collins.
This poem is entitled My Unborn Children. So as you're doing this movement, at any point, just feel free to stop and let your arm stay again in any spot, or let the arm, of course, come in front and rest until we come to the other side. My unborn children. Of all your children, only those who were born. That's a quote from Wisława Szymborska. He starts his poem with that quote. My unborn children. I have so many of them, I sometimes lose track. Several hundred last time I counted, but that was years ago. I remember one was made of marble and another looked like a goose. Some days, and on other days, a white flower. Many of them appeared only in dreams or while I was writing a poem, with freezing fingers in the house of a miser. Others were more like me, looking out the window in a worn shirt, then later staring into the dark. None of them ever made the lacrosse team, but they all made me as proud as I was on the day they failed to be born. There is no telling, maybe tonight or later in the week, another one with children will not be born. I see this next one as a baby, lying naked below a ceiling pasted with stars, but only for a little while. Then I see him as a monk in a gray robe, walking back and forth in the gravel yard of an imaginary monastery. His head bowed, wondering where I am. Billy Collins. That's a lovely one. I haven't found that one before. I don't know about you, but when I'm in a bookstore and I find something lovely, I'm like, oh no, I've got to buy another one. Just when I thought I was downsizing. Now, when you are feeling complete with that, and of course the beauty of doing your own practice is you may have found a fantastic spot, and if you wish, stay where you are. Otherwise, we'll continue and bring the arm forward again and let that arm release. And as you lie on the left cheek, take that right leg up, and you're going to be a bit ambitious now. So you're going to use some focus, reach the right heel out, and take that foot up as high as you can. Now, my foot looks probably like 4 feet long as the camera plays with it. But you're basically taking the foot up towards you so that you can get that stretch right through the back of that right leg. And hold on wherever that feels wonderful. And then if you can grab to the foot, use the top right hand and pull the toes back and reach out through the heel. And if that's a bit too much, bend your knees so you're pulling in and releasing through the hamstring. So feel for the best position. Let's stay with the breath and elongate there. Now, just for your entertainment, I'll just show you what we used to do with the athletes. So I'd have them on their back, and then I'd be standing up there, and I'd push their leg down, and then they would resist against me. And we would do that for 6 seconds, because that's a big time to get the muscle to fully lengthen. And then I would push down a little further the next, and we do that 3 times. We do this a series of times until I had their leg down as far as we could get it, and they would push against me. And then when we were done, I'd have them pull down as far as they could, and it would always be way further than when we started. So that is the power of resisting something when your muscle is lengthened, is you lengthen the connective tissue at the bottom of the joint. And that's a wonderful, wonderful way to deepen the range of your hip. Now come down a little bit lower and keep your legs straight still, and you're tipped and falling over entirely to that left side. And then you're going to take the elbow up, and with a bent arm, you're going to circle around. When you come back, you're pretty straight or fully straight with the arm. But when you come up here, let the arm be bent this much,
and then come back. So you're opening the chest and the shoulder, and also through your side waist and hip as you breathe in and come back, staying with your breath. And back. And back. Good, let's do one more. Breathing in and up and come back. Now you can let that arm come down. Bend your knee in, and then you're gonna roll onto the side so you're not on your back, you're just on the side of this left hip. Hold on to the leg, bring the leg up and come on into toe circles. It's coming all the way around with the ankle. And then you can come on in the other direction, keeping that reach. Wonderful. Now, flexing the foot, draw the leg down towards you as much as you can. The left hand rather is just resting on your thigh. Do a good split reach with the leg, but not too far. I want you to still be able to feel a good stretch through the back of the knee and to keep the leg as straight as you can as you reach that right heel out and pull the toes back. And then with that straight leg, so you're super reached out, draw the leg down again as high up as you can. I'm doing no hands if you could. And then reach that heel out. That will stretch you right through to the top. You might be right here. That's great too. Get that reach and then slide the leg down. Good. Lying in fetal position on that side and let yourself go so that you can feel the difference between the two sides. It's a great practice in developing physical awareness, just noticing how it feels to let one side go. And into deep, expanding breaths. Good. Now, you can push up from that side, or if you're able to roll to the other side, but I think you'll probably have to push up, change ends, so you can still see the action. Now, I just need to change my ear bud so that I can lie on this side. So just hang in there, just think of this as the commercial. And you can lie on your right side. Just let yourself go completely to that. So let yourself completely drop down onto your right side, coming into your fetal position. So the knees are bent, knees are stacked, and then you can take that top left knee, let the leg come forward, let your hip drop. And then begin with the arm, start with a bit of a bent elbow, lifting, and then take that left arm and draw all the way back. Really open through the chest. Keep this top left knee cascading down so you open right through that left hip. And you stay with your breathing. And then you can start to rotate, coming around, breathing in as you draw the arm up until you get back. Once you get back, exhale as you come down. Breathing in and up and exhaling as you lower. Once again, notice where you need to spend a bit more time, where there's more tension for you, and then focus on breathing deeply into any place that might catch any tension, any part of the range, and keep your breathing steady. Great. Okay. Now, I have to share something with you that I found so fascinating today. I'm just taking a course in psychology and exercise at York University, and there was a time in our evolution, and I'm hoping to find out today, if there was a recognized time in our evolution where there was a change in our DNA, in the DNA, the genome, the laddering spiral DNA that you'll see. There was a place in a part of the strand, in the positive strand, where there was a change in the genome. And basically genomes have names that are with letters. There's A, G, C, T. And there was a change from one of the genomes from an A to a G, I believe it was. And what that meant was there was now a different address in the DNA strand that was never there before. And that meant that a percentage of the population of all the world was starting now to have another type of DNA. And I am wondering if it took place basically at the advent of agriculture and the Industrial Revolution, where we started to become eventually dependent on a different diet. And if that is when the change happened in our DNA's evolution. Because what happened was, there was also a change in what is called in the brain, and of course you're just breathing and relaxing around. There was a change in what was called in the brain the reward pathway. So there was a way that we experienced reward in the world that was very natural. You know, it was based on maybe we caught a big fish when we were out fishing, or maybe we were very good at gardening something or harvesting something. Now we had a new crop. So it was very natural, our rewards. And then as we evolved and became industrialized, our rewards were different. And I'm wondering if that's when the change happened. Because our brain now has evolved into a brain that requires more stimulation and more reward than it did before. And this is all because of certain stimulus that we're under all the time. And it takes more to stimulate us, basically. And it takes more to satiate us. So we have evolved into a more complicated brain that almost needs more bells and whistles, or more sense of comfort because there's so many bells and whistles. So as I continue to understand the psychology of this evolved brain, I see that we're in a really different position to feel satisfied, to feel whole, to feel a sense of peace and harmony that was natural before. I think it's important for us to know what's happened to our brains, what's happened to the wiring, what's happened to the circuits. So neurotransmitting is showing that there's a certain predisposition in some of our brains for the need for more dopamine or more pleasure hormone, because we don't actually have the same amount of receptor sites as, say, our neighbor. So we each have a different capacity to feel pleasure just within ourselves, just within our wiring of our brain. So some people need more dopamine from the outside. Now, tyrosine, for example, is an amino acid that we eat, and it's actually in almost all complete proteins. It's in soy, it's in salmon, lean lamb, lean pork, red meat, chicken, turkey, and whole grains. And so tyrosine is something that is an amino acid in the brain that helps with the receptivity of dopamine, the pleasure hormone, neurotransmitter. So I find that if some people are finding that they're maybe, just like the Rolling Stones said, I can't get no satisfaction. If they are that dopamine lacking person, then they need to watch their complete protein intake. Are they getting enough tyrosine? Amino acids are the neatest thing. There's 8 essential ones, and that means that we have to get them from the outside. We have 22 altogether, and we can build protein in our bodies, but we need those 8 building blocks of amino acids that are building blocks for protein from our diet, and tyrosine is one of them. So if you do find, let's say you're a candidate for
maybe not feeling as much pleasure. And I say it at this time because of some of the challenges that we're faced with that we never had before, especially if you just became retired, especially if you just had big changes in your life. Then just make sure you're getting enough complete proteins. And as always, make sure that you understand what does provide happiness for you. And it may not be what people are doing. You're, really tune into what is your version of joy. What is the way that you feel beauty? Sometimes I think it's challenging to know what you love and need in a culture that is trying to tell us what that is. So I really felt it was timely to mention that because I find when I study the brain, I just get elated because I don't know if you feel this way, but you might notice something in the world, just something that you're aware of that you weren't aware of a week ago or 2 weeks ago. And then you read about it in an article in the newspaper or in a journal, or you see it on the front page of something. And I love to follow those little threads where you're understanding something more about yourself in life or how we are as human beings in life, because we have so much information that is accessible for us now that we didn't have even 30 years ago because of neuroimaging. It's a really exciting time. And you're going to see that the internal arts like prayer, I think of as an internal art, Qigong, Tai Chi, Falun Dafa, all of the internal arts, yoga is an internal art, are going to start to get more and more clout because they're understanding what it's doing to the brain pathways. Of course, meditation being a prime example, and yoga is meditation when it's done with breathing first. So we are living in a very exciting time to develop a greater sense of our consciousness, our conscious mind, and how it works and what we need. So I imagine you're all unwound. And then the next thing is to come from that position. We've got that top knee there. And then you can take that left heel out and pull up, and you can take your right hand to pull the leg up. And get the heel reaching out as you pull back from the toes. Get the leg long. And a great way to support that stretch is to pull in from the lower abdominals from the front. So that's where you do your little half a giggle. You can just fake it. And just pull in. So you get that lower abdominal wall to pull in. And then you can breathe in and take that arm back. And you've got a wonderful opening right from the chest, shoulder, right down through the side of the body. And keep that left heel reaching out and stay with your breath. And if you wish to move up and down to open up through that shoulder, take your time, please do. Coming around. Breath. Excellent. Good. And then you can let that arm just come back way up to the top. And then you can bring that left leg up to the top. And you can pull the leg towards you. You're still on your right side, but you're a little bit tipped towards your back. So not right on the side. And then you draw that leg towards you. Just come on into your ankle circles. Coming around. And then come on in the other direction. Really good. And then you can draw that heel towards you. Now just see if you can really get the toes back. Get that line right through the back of the hamstrings lengthening. Good. And of course you're getting blood return from your lower leg. So that good blue venous blood, it's been deoxygenated. And now you're pulling it back down to your midsection, your torso, where it can get the bright red arterial blood again, oxygenated blood. Okay, that's really good. And now draw back up to the top. Do draw that leg towards you as much as you can. Your upper body letting go. Pull the toes back as you get that wonderful reach out through the heel. Really reach.
And then you come on down. You get that heel out far. Really reach. Good. And then it's really nice to just hold the foot there again. Let the elbow bend back. Open through the chest. Breathing. Breath. I'm feeling very unsure if we did this on the other side. When I'm here all alone, I get too inspired to show you something, and then I'm like, my God, what did I do on that side? So I do believe we did this. Just let me know if there's anything I need to change if you have your mic on. I think we did that stretch. And then, yeah, I think it was to come around straight back and then bend and just circle right around. Here again, the breath can be in as you draw that bent elbow up and then straightening the arm back. Wonderful breaths. Good, and a couple more breaths. And then you can let that top left arm release in front, and now gently bend that top left leg. Come on into fetal position and just feel that opening right through the top of the hamstring, right into the buttock. Wonderful. Now we're going to increase our stretches some more. And before we do, we'll come into all fours position. And we'll do a stretch right in through the middle of the spine, coming into cat stretch. Take your hands right under the shoulders. Take an in-breath, gaze up and lift the eyes, arc your back, and then exhale and round as if you're pushing the palms right through the floor. And then breathe in, gaze up, lift the eyes, and exhale, round. Press the tops of the feet down. Breathe in, gaze up, arc the bum bones up. And then exhale and round. Once more, breathe in, gaze up, lift the eyes, arc, and exhale, round. Now take the knees wide, have the toes pointing together, and then sitting back on your heels, take the shoulders back, interlace through the fingers, and then just gazing up, open through the chest and the wrist out. Then you can take the turn to your right, so you draw the wrist over to the left and you keep the rib cage lifted, nice and open. And then you can rotate to the other side. Turn, keep the ribs pulled up and keep the wrist coming back, nice and lifted. And then once again, turn to the other side. Bring the legs straight in front if this is too much for the knees. And then once again, come on back and rotating. Get your wonderful turn. And then you can come back to your center. Now we'll come forward into child's pose. Let your head release and let the weight of the head go right down to your forehead. Palming the mat out there as you stretch right under the arms. Nice deep breaths. And then do a little wiggle side to side. Okay, good. And now you can gently uncurl. Come on back up. And then take the hands behind. You're going to turn your fingers in. And come onto the tips of the fingers. Take an in-breath. Lift the chin. Let your shoulders come down and forward. So it's like an armless hump like this. The shoulders are down. And then you're breathing in to gaze up. And you lift from the rib cage. Press the tops of the feet down so the knees are pressing forward. In-breath. And then exhale, and then just come to the middle. Now, gently and really, Rachel, listening to the neck, take the hands onto the back of the head, and then you're going to tuck your chin and breathe in and out through the nose. Stay with your breath. Staying with your breath, breathing in and out. And then you can gently release the weight of the head, come on back. And now just coming into a seated position with your legs in front. In a moment, we are going to have the bolster right across the mat. So let's get the bolster ready so that we can do that. Roll back and come onto the bolster. So the first position is take your legs straight in front, and as you lift right up from the bum bones, pull your butt cheeks back so you can get right to the fronts of bum bones. And then you lift it from your rib cage. Now pull back from your toes as you reach the heels out. Lengthen right from the bottom of the spine. And then just come on into circles. Just bringing the head around. Letting the chin come forward. And the ear drops from side to side. You can look up as we lift, but not too far. So you're just getting a small, it's really a stretch of the skin of the chin. And coming around. Come around 2 more times, keeping your breathing constant. In and out through the nose. And then you can come in the other direction. Again, take your time, keep your breathing constant. And one more time around, coming back to your center. Good. Now one more time, the hands come behind the head, interlace the fingers, and then you can tuck your chin and looking down, stay with your breath. And 2 more breaths. And as you're ready, breathing in, just bring your head right back up and you're gazing straight ahead. Okay, the next position, we're going to take our bum right against the bolster and come over the bolster. Now for some of you, especially Rachel, you're going to want to have a folded blanket or a pillow that's anywhere from 4 to 6 inches or even higher for the head. And that's just a guess. I'll demonstrate the pose. You're going to come right back with your body over the bolster. The elbows come right over, your elbows are on the other side, and the bolster is right across the shoulder blade area. Now, I have the knees bent. That's the easiest position, and they're just slightly bent. And that's a great position to get the tailbone down and less of a stretching through your low back. Now, if you're okay, you could straighten the legs, and that will bring your tailbone down just a tiny bit more. And then if that's a piece of cake, then you can bend your knees and let your knees splay to the outside and let your whole front body let go. And as you breathe, you feel the front body expand. Keep on opening through the chest. Good, and keep the breath steady. So breathing in and out through the nose. Keep that going. And keep feeling your chest and your rib cage expand as you breathe in. Remembering to draw the breath into the back of the nostrils, and as you exhale, the breath leaves the nostrils, always in and out through the nose. We do that because you get the filtering in through the nose. And the other really neat thing about that is the olfactory organs are in the nostrils. The part there connects directly to the brain, and it has a better relaxation response. And then noticing if you need to change the position. So whether you have soles of the feet together or knees bent, just notice the best position for your back, for your neck. and your shoulders. And keep staying with your breathing. Feel the front body expand on the in-breath, and feel yourself soften on the exhale. Just keep on letting go. Breathing, open the front body. Now, just making sure that the neck is free. If this is too much of a stretch, I'm going to show you the second version. So if you're starting to get tight, either in the neck, throat, or in through the fronts of the shoulders, then you could change to this position. This is very different. Taking the bolster long ways, you actually come to the top of the bolster. So for Rachel, you might be able to fit on the bolster. And if not, because I'm like 5'4", which you were at 21, but at 22, when you went to 5'8", you're going to keep that chest open and you want to have the head supported. So if the bolster is too short, you can have your tailbone off the bolster and then put something underneath your bum. Or you can have the tailbone just a little off the bolster, but make sure the head is on the bolster. The arms are coming to the outside and the palms are turned up. So in this position or the other position, with each in-breath, you open the chest and you let the back of the body sink into the support of the bolster. And you let go. In the long hot dog version of the bolster, you can have your legs bent or straight, and just noticing which one is best for your tailbone to let yourself go. I'll return to the original posture. And another way to do the original posture is to take the, if it's possible, to take the pillow out from, or the towel or whatever you're using, from under the head to let the weight of the head come back. So you can open through the throat and in through the chest. And you go into your breathing. And again, stay with the breath. Feel the shoulder blades back. Good, and we'll stay here for another 3 minutes. And notice if there's any part of your body that you need to adjust in order to feel your body can let go. Also notice if you need to change the position of the legs. This poem from Billy Collins is entitled Delivery.
Moon in the upper window, shadow of my crooked pen on the page. I find myself wishing that the news of my death might be delivered not by a dark truck, but by a child's attempt to draw that truck, the long rectangular box of the trailer, some lettering on the side, then the protruding cab, the ovoid wheels, maybe the inscrutable profile of a driver, and puffs of white smoke issuing from the tailpipe drawn like flowers, and similar in their expression to the clouds in the sky, only smaller. Billy Collins. And this poem is entitled, Drawing You from Memory. I seem to have forgotten several features crucial to the doing of this. For instance, how your lower lip meets your upper lip, besides just being below it. And what happens at the end of the nose? How much does it shade the plane of your cheek? And would even a bit of nostril be visible from this angle? Chinese eyes, you can call them, which could be the difficulty I have in showing the flash of light in your iris. And being so far away from you for so long, I cannot remember what direction it flows, the deep river of your hair. But all of this will come together the minute I see you again at the station, my notebook and pens packed away, your face smiling as I cup it in my hands, or frowning later when we are home and you are berating me in the kitchen, waving the pages in my face, demanding to know the name of this latest little hooer. Drawing you from memory. That had a surprise ending. And taking just about a minute and a half more to continue to breathe, open the chest and the rib cage, to keep feeling the whole front body open and draw back. Once again, tuning in to notice if you need to change the position of the pose, to deepen it, or to let go more. Continue to breathe. Take another minute.
And next, as you finish the posture, you're going to very slowly come out by taking, if your head is back, the hands behind the head. Interlace the fingers, and in your pose, begin by lifting the chin and tucking it in strongly. So you're getting a very good tuck. And then you can very slowly roll in either position over to your right side. Keep your head cupped. And then once that right elbow comes down, gently draw right up to see the position. And then the next position is to take the legs over the bolster and to let the heels release on the other side. And we're going to come right down onto your backs. We will be finishing in Shavasana here, so if you do need to get a blanket or a sweater or something just to get yourself nice and warm in case you need that today, or maybe today's the first day you don't, and then let your whole body go. Now next, take the heels together and let the knees splay out so you're stretching gently and dropping the tailbone down, and let yourself go. And then as we begin, let your head gently roll side to side. And then you can center. Now you can take your left arm straight out to the side and then bend it like a right angle. So from the back side, here it is, the left arm is back. And then you take the right hand behind the left ear, look down to your right, breathe in and out through the nose and keep the chin tucked as you breathe. Breathing in and out. And then you can slowly lower, coming down. And now the right arm comes out to the side on a right angle, left hand behind the right ear. Look up, look down to your left, tucking your chin. Look way down, really tucked. And then you can slowly lower down, letting the weight of the head back. And then take the arms into the air and interlace the fingers. Take an in-breath as you draw the shoulder blades off the floor, and then draw the arms over to your left with that right shoulder blade coming off the floor. Come right across. Nice deep breaths. Really good. Right across. And one more deep breath. And then you can breathe in, draw back up. Come on over to the right, bending that right elbow. Draw the left shoulder blade across. Get over as far as you can. Pulling deep breaths into the upper back. Like breathing deep into the back of the nostrils. And then you can breathe in. Draw the arms just down to the side of the body. And then gently draw your knees together, bringing them to the ceiling with the feet flat on the top of the bolster. With the feet apart and then super wide, bring the feet to the outside, edges of your bolster, and let your knees fall together. And rest there for a moment. Take the shoulder blades under so the neck is free. Now on your next in-breath, take the hands behind the head, interlace the fingers, take an in-breath, and then tuck your chin and just looking down. Breathe in and out through the nose. Then you can slowly lower. Do keep your chin tucked as you lower, coming all the way down, and then just rest your arms to the side. And then you can straighten your legs. Take the legs right over the bolster and let yourself go. We'll come right into Shavasana, lying relaxation. Now for Shavasana, I'd like you to enjoy silence. And in the spirit of that stillness that you experience in asana, where you drop into the pose, do this in your Shavasana. This is the final pose that allows you to let all of the other poses gel inside your tissue and to let them create a length in all of the connective tissue that you have breathed open. So let yourself go. We'll be here for about 7 minutes of complete surrender. Letting go now. And just continue to let go in your stillness. Continue to breathe and let go. And just notice if any thoughts arise. Just the pure witness of them. And without being captured by their concept, see if you can be right in the moment of the breath. And then perhaps that thought can lose its form. And you can come into a moment of being right here, and maybe the thought loosens or is lost. And stay with your breathing. And then, with awareness on your breathing, take a deeper breath in. Feeling the chest and belly expand. And once again, a nice deep breath. And completely exhale. And then you can bend your knees and just take the feet to the top of the bolster. And as we began, do a nice flattening of your low back. Just let the tailbone come down. And then release, letting go. And then again, you can press the low back down. Pressing down. And then release, letting go. And once again, press the low back down. And then release, letting go. Now gently roll over to your right side, and we'll draw right over to that side. Lie in fetal position with the head supported, little hand under for a pillow. Let your body go. And then on your next in-breath, you can gently draw right up to seated position. And either position that feels good, to just take a moment to settle and to let your body come into an upright position again. And then we'll bring our hands together and bow in Namaste. Namaste. I can hear you from afar. So have a fantastic rest of the day. Enjoy this spectacular sunshine. And I'll see you on your next day.